So we'll quickly see how to find available BADI definitions. We have two methods, right? One is using CLExit Handler class, which is the recommended way of
Yes.
finding
Yes, sir.
suitable BADI definition for your requirement. The other way is find the package of the program, the transaction code, and go to SC80. You can
SEL0
find all the enhancements there. For example, first we'll see the first method, system status.
status.
By using this, we are trying to find the program name assigned for this transaction code. You can also find this in SC93, right? The program name of the transaction code. You can also find it in SC93. What is SC93? SC93 is the transaction. SC93 is to view the standard transaction codes and create the custom transaction codes, right? What is the transaction code?
Yes, sir.
SC93. So this is the program. Double click on the program. In attributes, in program attributes, you can find the package assigned to that program. It is same for all custom and standard programs. Go to program attributes. You can also find this in SC38, right? In attributes section. So I know the package.
Yes, sir.
Go to SC80.
Package MGU classical values.
Yeah, now scroll down. So each package contains many programs, subroutines, many things. All the objects assigned to this package. I told you, right? Package is like a folder. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All the objects assigned to this package you can see
Enhancements.
here. So in enhancement sections, you can see classic BADI definitions. These
Classical
are all the
values.
BADI definitions available for that MM01 transaction code. But we don't know, right, which BADI definition is going to trigger at which step, right? So these BADI definitions are added in the standard program in different steps. So when we click on continue, specific BADI definition will execute. When we click on save, only specific BADI definitions will execute, not all the BADI definitions, right? We need to know which BADI definition is available for save action, which BADI definition is available for continue action, which BADI definition is available for F4 help, right? We need to know that, right?
Yes, sir.
Before going to implement it. Otherwise, we don't know. Here we have multiple BADIs. I don't know which BADI I have to implement. Until unless if your functional consultant provide you the exact BADI definition. For example, if you go to this BADI material check, this is the BADI definition. You can also open it in SC18 transaction, SC18 transaction. So double click on this. You have to go by descriptions, right? You have to go by descriptions and assume that this might be suitable for your requirement. Now, in properties, you can find whether it is
Interface.
a multi-use BADI or single implementation BADI. You scroll down, you can see the properties.
Yes, sir.
This one, this is a multi-use BADI, and also go to interface methods.
Interface.
So in interface, we will be having interface method. What does a BADI definition contains? Interface methods. What is the interface method? What is the interface? Interface contains methods without any implementation.
Methods without implementation.
Right? To implement the interface method, what we need to do? We need to use a class. By using class, we can implement a interface. So for example, if you want to know more details about this BADI definition, go to documentation on this BADI definition. it is same for customer exit also. You can find the documentation for all the customer exits, not all the customer exits, for most of the customer exits, so that you can identify what is the purpose of that customer exit or a BADI. In the documentation section, SAP has provided more details about it. Okay, what are the scenarios you can implement this BADI, and what is the use of this BADI, what are the importing and exporting parameters of the each interface. They documented in the documentation section. Okay, you can go through the documentation to understand more about the BADI definition. When you are not sure about what BADI you need to implement, since we have list of BADIs here, right?
Yes, sir.
You can find documentation in SC 18. Also in SMOD, you can find documentation about the customer exit. It is slow. Yesterday we observed that this BADI material check is triggering when we click on save, right? When
Yes,
we
sir.
click on material save, this BADI material check is triggering, and we implemented the check data method. So it's also checking that check change Mara mains. Check for changes to the base unit of measure. So when there is a change in unit of measure, it is this interface method is suitable to handle such scenarios. This second method might contain different importing and exporting parameters. It is taking too much time to load. Okay, let's go back to the standard transaction code. Let the documentation load. It is taking time. What? Yeah, we got the documentation. This is the documentation about BADI definition. You can check more details about it. You can use business add in BADI material check to complete, so check to implement your own field checks and partial changes to the material master data. Check data method is available to you to do this. So if there is any change in the data, you can use check data method. So these are all the documentation available for this BADI definition. Okay, for this BADI material check. Similarly, each BADI definition have its own documentation, just for your reference. Okay, this is the first way. This is one way of finding BADI definitions available for a specific standard transaction code. Now we are working only on MM01, right? You can follow same steps for any transaction code. Okay, you need to follow same steps like finding package and go to navigating to SC80. Steps are same for any other standard transaction code like VA01, VA02, ME21N, ME22N, ME23N, whatever the transaction code it is, the steps are same for customer exits and BADIs both. Now let's see the second approach, that is using CLExit Handler. I told you, right, this is the preferable approach to find the exact BADI which is triggering at specific point in the standard transaction code. How can you do that? First, open your standard transaction code, for example, MM01, and what is the method you have to set breakpoint? Tell me, what is the method you have to use? Get instance, please
Get
respond.
instance method.
Get instance method. Go to the get instance method.
In
What
that
type of method it is? What type of
class
method is it? What type of method it is? Is it a static method or instance method? It's a static method, not an instance method. So, if you need to call this method, you can call like this using class reference. CLExit Handler is the class, and use this marks and call this method. Okay, so this is the inside this get instance. We have another method, get class name by interface. Get
yes, sir.
class name by interface. So this is the method which is returning BADI definitions available at that particular action. Keep the breakpoint here or after the execution of the method here in the case statement, so that you don't need to press F6 again. Okay, we will directly return values to the exit name. Okay, now go to your standard transaction code. So enter some material, click on enter or click on continue, or it will trigger for this options also. For example, like this, it is triggering, right? For F4 also, for F4 helps also, it will trigger this breakpoint, this debugger. Double click on the exit name. So here you will get all the BADI definitions available. Click on F8. Okay, now again click on continue. Now it should trigger the BADIs available after clicking on the continue. BADI underscore material underscore OD. That is the BADI available. Go to the BADI definition in SE18 and check whether there are relevant interface method available for your requirement or not. Go to BADI name, click on display. So please make sure CLExit Handler will trigger for every action. Here you can just click on F8 when you open the other transaction codes. Okay?
Yes, sir.
System is very slow today. This is your BADI definition, right? In SE18, you can check what is the type of the BADI. It is a multi-use BADI. BADI material underscore OD. It is before displaying that pop-up screen, right? When we click on continue, this BADI definition is available. Go to interfaces and check what are the methods available and check the parameters of the method. Click on F8 here. So just click on F8 and complete the debugging, because that CLExit handler will trigger for each screen action, each screen navigation. Okay, but when you are in other transaction codes, don't worry about it. So these are the importing parameters available for this interface method, right? Observe this interface method. If it is suitable for your requirement, implement this BADI definition in SE19, SE19. Okay,
Yes, sir.
like that. Press F8 again. There is one BADI definition, that is this one, material underscore OD available before when we click on continue, before displaying that pop-up screen, right? If you need to handle anything, if you need to add any custom logic, you can utilize this BADI if interface methods are suitable. So you got it right. This is how we are going to find a specific BADI definition using CLExit Handler, get instance method. Is everyone clear on this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, it's not responding. So you got it right?
Yes, sir.
Okay then.